This one was a pretty crazy news that Kershey has left, right? Or did Mythic Talent dropped her? It's so over. Do you think Mythic
Hey,
Talent
what's up,
is
guys?
going to be gone? Do you guys think Mythic Talent is going to be dead? I generally have no idea what is going on with Mythic at this point. Guess we are all separating, disappointed at the lack of communication and clarity after having nothing but good things to say about my manager. Old Biz email is back and active. Damn. Oh shit, man. Maybe Mythic Talent might be corrupted, to be honest. Is it? Is it all, man? I ain't gonna lie, man. There's some corruption happening here with some of these agencies.
Here. So it appears that the already bad situation involving Mythic Talent has gotten even worse. Today, the VTuber Kirsha announcing that she and Mythic are separating and that she is disappointed by the lack of communication and clarity after she's had nothing but good
People say
things
it
to
has something to
say
do with
about
the
her
war. Are you
relationship
serious?
with the company. Now, this really represents
That's wild.
a hill that I guess Mythic is willing to die on, where they are seemingly getting rid of anybody who is controversial
And also they
in any
said
sort of
that
a way
Mythic was
from their
siphoning
company,
funds.
whether your name is Kirsha, Asmongold, or anything like that. They are parting ways with all of these people who even co-founded their company. A very strange hill to die on, but that seems to be their choice. Now, if you're not really familiar with Mythic Talent, they are an agency that simply helps content.
I feel like you're gonna start losing a lot of audiences for the Mythic Talent agency. You know, definitely a lot of the audiences are gonna be questioning on that.
Creators get sponsors. They're basically the middleman who takes a cut from the deals they find content creators. It's very hands-off, but over the past couple of weeks, they've had a lot of controversy and cancellation campaigns targeting them and the partners they work with. It began with this post from Caseytron, the infamous Hassan Orbiter, who listed out all of the talents working with Mythic and tried to basically shame them by association because Asmongold is a co-founder of the agency. And then right around that time, we saw a bunch of content creators announce that they were leaving or that they had already left to try to clarify that they're no longer there, I guess, to avoid further harassment, because that's what this list would entail. Now, we also had the situation involving the VTuber Grimmy, who was a partner with Mythic Talent for about a year, who came out and said that they were skimming money off the top with some of their deals. That situation is still ongoing. It's not clear what happened one way or another. Mythic Talent denied that this happened, but it spurred on a lot of conversation.
I wouldn't be surprised if this actually happens. Maybe for some VTubers they don't do it, but for other VTubers they do. Maybe in her experience, maybe they were doing that a little bit more often to her compared to some of the other bigger ones on the roster. So maybe, just saying, it could be. Maybe they do have favoritism over there.
We had other Mythic talents like Cha-Cha coming out and saying basically they had nothing but good things to say about their experience with the agency. We also had Kirsha, who, well, I guess is no longer a member of Mythic Talent, come out and basically say that she's had nothing but a good experience and doesn't really know what's going on when this whole thing was breaking down about a week ago.
Could I ask my Mythic contact to consult their lawyer about tortious interference lawsuits? Pretty please. I have no idea what the fuck is going on with Mythic. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Like, I saw Grimmy say some stuff about Mythic, but she's like, I can't say too much. And then Cha-Cha was like, I don't know what's going on with Mythic. They've only done well by me. I haven't had any issues with Mythic either, so all these people who are coming out and being like, there's some horrible things lurking in the sewer. I'm like, where? What happened? I don't understand. A bunch of people left, no comments from them. I don't know what's going on. I have literally no fucking clue, which is not too surprising considering Mythic isn't like a traditional talent agency. It's just like a bunch of us with our own independent managers.
And she would further clarify those statements in this reply to someone sharing that clip, saying, to be clear here, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong, just that I have no idea what's going on, and this isn't the first time I've seen people say they've had bad experiences with Mythic, and my personal experience reflects what
see.
Cha-Cha says. So basically, she's somewhere in the middle. She has some positive things to say about her own experience that lines up with
It's probably gonna
things
show up
people
here, to
are
be honest.
saying as well. But also,
If I had to
she's
take
heard
a
about bad
guess.
experiences, which
It's
would
very
line up with
interesting, though,
other
that it
things
hasn't heard
people are
from
saying. So it's a very
the
mixed
manager.
bag,
Question mark?
surrounded by a bunch of confusion. Now, the big focus was what was Asmongold gonna do about the situation, because Casey Tron in her post was not someone who's trying to right a wrong. All
Or
she was
Cha-Cha
trying to
has some
do
hush
was
money?
use
Alright, buddy,
her
that's-
hatred of Asmongold
Now you're
and
putting on some
these
tinfoil
talents that are in
conspiracy
the way
there.
working for a company he co-founded in order to secure a win over him, to cause him some sort of issue, and it would be successful because Asmongold and Mythic would mutually agree to part ways. Now, seeing everything that's happened since then, it's becoming increasingly clear that I think this was much more of a move of Asmongold getting out of this company, at least publicly, right? We don't know the full extent of how much he still
Could
has
be.
in terms of an interest in the company, but they have been making a lot of mistakes. And right after their announcement, people were wondering, well, what's going to happen next? Because if Asmongold was someone they would willingly part ways with, where does that leave everyone else? Because the people who are trying to get talents harassed and try to get them to leave were not satisfied simply with Asmongold leaving. That was going to continue. The pressure was going to increase. If you give a mouse a cookie, right? We all know the story. You give these people anything, they'll keep using those tactics over and over again to get everyone to leave the company or to get removed from the company. And right after Asmongold left, several content creators were also parting ways, including Nicholas Light, who said during his vacation celebrating his 1-year anniversary with his wife, he was informed by Mythic Talent that they had parted ways with him as well. And he's a controversial content creator as well, so there seems to be a pattern.
I don't really know who Nicholas Light is, though. Sorry.
Now, like I said when this happened, what is the next step? Is this going to stop anyone else from getting removed by the company? I said absolutely not. This is going to continue, and one of the people I thought of instantly was Kirsha, because people have been gunning for her sponsorships and her business relationships forever, and it seems like, well, they got what they wanted. Now, we don't know the direct cause at this point, but that's what happened. And the big theme here is confusion. It seems like there's utter confusion going on at Mythic and
going after
confusion between them and anyone they're working with, because when Asmongold was removed, Kirsha would quote it, the announcement, saying, "What the heck is going on?" That seems like she had as much insight as anyone else watching this situation unfold, even if it was people outside of the company. And I knew statements like this would bring in absolute loons who would try to weaponize Asmongold leaving to go after people like Kirsha. And that's exactly what we saw from infamous cry bullies like this saying, "You're next." And how would that not happen when people saw Asmongold leave? They said, well, if Asmongold's going to leave and get pressured into doing it, what about everyone else? Well, it appears now, as of 2 hours before recording this video, Kirsha made this announcement saying, genuinely no idea what's going on with Mythic at this point, but I guess we are also separating. Disappointed at the lack of communication and clarity after having nothing but good things to say about my manager. Old business email is back and active, which is disappointing, but this was the inevitable conclusion of the situation. Everyone knew as soon as the dominoes started to fall, it wasn't going to stop. And it appears that Mythic is really choosing this hill to die on. I do not know how their company is going to survive any of these recent moves. But she would add on to her original thread with this response to someone saying they're sorry about the situation, where she said something that I've heard from several active Mythic talents, saying this, not a huge deal as they weren't really providing much at this point. The last sponsor I had brought to them, and several sponsors who were supposed to have been reached out to on my behalf have told me that they never were. And I've
that's interesting. Were they completely just ignoring her on purpose or so then she would just voluntarily leave or so? But then that's money on the table or so that they're leaving, though. I don't know, it makes no sense. It's a little bit odd or so, because like at the end of the day, it's money. So Why would they want to leave that money on the table for the sponsorships if they get a certain percentage cut from it, you know? I don't know, man. It's kind of sus. Hey, Yune, something's kind of sus happening behind the doors of Mythic Talent.
Heard this again from multiple people, former and current with Mythic, where there really wasn't that many opportunities as of late, at the very least. They weren't doing much for many people. It seems like a very select few people in the company or partners with the company were getting the majority, the lion's share of opportunities and sponsorships, and everyone else was just kind of on their own to begin with. And this lack of communication I'm seeing right here
missing?
seems like
Fillion is still missing to this day. What happened to Fillion? God lord. I thought she already came back by now. What incarnation is she doing?
something that a lot of people were dealing with. And with Kirsha, I mean, she will be just fine. I mean, she is someone who can really push pretty much anything she tries to
2.0, but they
promote
learned,
at this
to
point.
let
She has her
go of
own
people
line of
first
merch
before
here, like if you
bankrupt.
want to check that out to support her.
Wait, are they doing? They're doing VShojo 2.0? There's no shot, right? No shot that they're doing VShojo 2.0. I don't believe that.
Of course, go ahead and do
And her
so.
VODs are
But
getting deleted off
yeah,
of
this whole thing
YouTube,
with Mythic is an app.
Her VODs are getting deleted off YouTube? Damn. That's a little bit weird. Huh. Maybe the comment section could probably let me in on the info on it.
Absolute mess. And it seems like they've really chosen the path.
A lot of the VTubers retired a lot of their models this year. Which ones? Wait, which VTubers? Are you serious? They're actually doing a VShojo 2.0? But then if it's another agency doing that as well, it's just, but I get it, I understand, because it worked. This is how it works in real life too as well. You know, if you know somebody in a company or so, they can easily get you into the job or so, right? Because they could put a good word in it. The thing is, like, it's made it, the problem is like it's made from a friend for friends to be together, you know? And it's just kind of like it's all in it, like in it together for friends, you know. And the question is, are they even later down the line, are they even going to open up for people to try to sign up to this agency? Question mark, you know. That's the question to ask, you know. Are they going to let other people, other VTubers try to apply for it? Question mark. Or is it just going to be only in the top 5% are the ones that are only going to get in, you know, or people to know by another person, you know. That's what it feels like to me so far when it comes to some of these VTuber agencies so far.
Path they're going down, and it's not a good one for them. I don't think it really takes an insider to understand that these are a series of very bad moves that people will interpret, and I think reasonably, as bending the knee and capitulating to the mob on social media who wants to completely destroy anybody affiliated with this company because of its one-time affiliation with Asmongold. That's really the whole rundown of this, but this company already clearly had some issues. It had some good experiences from people and also had some bad experiences from people, but nevertheless, it seems like things are taking a turn for the worse and worse and worse and worse for them. That's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below.
What an interesting.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Actual
and I'll see you
interesting
next time.
video. Like, I've heard about it, but I never knew it was, I guess you could say, this serious, you know, with the whole Mythic Talent thing. It's a little bit sus, not gonna lie. Just a little bit suspicious on the whole thing of letting go of these specific content creators. Mythic ruined their goodwill over Caseytron. The bidder has San Orbiter. Hope it was worth it, Mythic. Yeah, see, you already got literally a bunch of other people. Advanced GG, Makeshift, and now Mythic companies would throw their grandmothers down the stairs to save faces. Yeah, that's the problem. So now you got people that are literally coming after, you know, that are coming after dropping these specific types of people. Yeah, it's suspicious, but sooner or later the truth will come out. Of course, yeah, eventually it'll come out. The two that I know is very talented in singing, but they just abruptly announced their infinite hiatus together on February. Then I saw a few others. Well, what are they? Do you know their names? But yeah. Anyways, pretty sus. pretty sus. Who knows? Shoujo 2.0 coming back would be the most wildest thing to hear in 2026. Definitely not on my bingo list, I'll be honest with you.